East and west merge in Friuli-Venezia Giulia in the northeast of Italy. In the turbulent past, Trieste, the capital of this region, was sometimes Austro-Hungarian, sometimes Yugoslavian, sometimes Italian. This has not affected the people who live in Friuli-Venezia Giulia. Many peoples live together here in a peaceful microcosm. This is what makes the region so diverse in terms of architecture, landscape, and cuisine. The Dolomites and the sea, medieval castle villages and old forest mills combine to form a harmonious whole in this part of Italy today. The region on the border with Slovenia and Austria is surrounded by the Adriatic Sea and high mountains. Friuli-Venezia Giulia consists partly of a coastal landscape, lagoons and miles of sandy beaches, and partly of mountains. The most famous seaside towns include Lignano Sabbiadoro and Trieste. Friuli-Venezia Giulia is above all an ideal destination for those who love the sea. Sailing enthusiasts and those who want to become one will find a well-organized offer in this region. For pleasure boating, Friuli-Venezia Giulia has thousands of perfectly equipped moorings and the professional services that go with them. Every year, the region hosts more than 100 major nautical events. If you like this video, please support the Travel Owl channel with a like, comment, or a subscription. Thank you. The Fusine Lakes are one of the most characteristic corners of the mountains of Friuli-Venezia Giulia and represent a natural world of their own. They are two glacial basins, one upper and one lower, connected by an underground water system that turns to ice in winter in one of the coldest corners of Italy. The magic of the cold in Fusine lies in the white history of the frost that draws its crystals on the icy surface of these basins, or in the white blanket of powder that covers the forest, leaving space for white paths to explore the wonder on snowshoes or skis. Autumn offers amber reflections on the lakes, and the colors of dormant nature fill the emotional palette along with the floral explosion of the beautiful season. The lakes look out onto the neighboring mountains. The Ponzicum and the Mangat, a huge grey dome rising in the background, are ideal terrain for hiking, via ferratas and some of the most challenging climbs in the entire alpine region. The Zaki Hut, located in a commanding position above the lake basin, is an excellent place to rest and refresh, which can be easily reached by families with children via the access road. Venzone is the best preserved fortified village in Friuli-Venezia Giulia, an exceptional example of architectural and artistic renovation. The devastating earthquake of 1976 almost razed the only walled village in the region from the 14th century to the ground. However, the inhabitants refused to be defeated and demanded that their village be rebuilt stone by stone exactly as it once was. Venzone therefore became a castle village again, where the large walls surrounded by a moat can still be admired today. Access is through one of the 3 entrance gates, one of which, Porta di San Genesio, still has its watchtower. The heart of the small town is the Cathedral of Sant'Andrea Apostolo. It is an important example of Gothic art, as is the municipal palace, which is embellished by a loggia with 16th century frescoes on the back wall. The upper part of the building, which is accessed via a large staircase, is enriched by a series of mullioned windows. The tower, which rises at one corner of the building, contains the clock, a bas-relief with the Lion of St. Mark, which bears witness to the Venetian domination. The streets of Venzone are lined with 16th century buildings with facades embellished by mullioned windows and balconies in the typical Venetian Gothic style. The history, culture and even the name of the town are closely linked to the Livenza River. In the Garden of Venice, as Sacile is nicknamed due to its Venetian charm, different architectural styles coexist harmoniously. Elegant palazzi, mostly in lagoon style, are reflected in the blue of the river. The Cathedral of San Niccolò, dedicated to the patron saint of the city and river navigation, the Church of the Madonna della Pietà and the Piazza del Popolo, which is lined with beautiful arcades, are definitely worth a visit. Numerous 16th century palazzi give Sacile the flair of a typical Renaissance town. The magnificent Loggia Comunale and above all the Palazzo Ragazzoni Flangini Bilia are typical examples of this. The Renaissance and Baroque ornamental motifs on many of the houses emphasize the charm of the town and tempt you to wander over bridges and through alleyways and lose yourself in the discovery of picturesque corners. In August, the town comes to life every year for the traditional Sagra dei Ossi, one of the oldest Italian folk festivals, during which a bird fair and bird market, demonstrations and singing competitions are held simultaneously among the numerous specimens represented. The small town of Spilimbergo is located on the Tagliamento, an approximately 170 kilometers long river that rises in the Carnic Alps. The northern Italian town was in Habsburg hands from 1278 to 1509. If you take the connecting road from the eastern city gate to the western one, Torre Orientale, Occidental, you will see the most beautiful street in the city center, Corso Roma. Strolling through the adjacent alleyways and drinking a cafe here or a spritz there like the locals makes for a truly authentic stay. The city's picturesque cathedral was built between 1284 and 1359 and is a sight to behold in its Gothic splendor. In addition to frescoes worth seeing, you can also admire the historic organ from the 16th century and a crypt from the Romanesque period. The castle of the Spengenberg family, from which the town takes its name, comprises a number of buildings from different eras. Parts of the facade are decorated with frescoes, hence the castle's nickname Palazzo di Pinto, Painted Palace. A famous mosaic school is also located in Spilimbergo. In addition to the numerous churches, the town delights its visitors with a wide variety of events and festivals that revolve around art, culture and living tradition. Traces of human settlement have been found in the Aquileia area dating back to the Iron Age. Celtic immigrants settled here in 186 BC, but were subsequently expelled by the Romans. The latter founded the city of Aquileia in 181 BC and settled veterans and their families here. From ancient times to the Middle Ages, Aquileia was not only an important commercial and administrative center due to its central location, but also of great strategic military importance. The glass and iron industries helped the city to achieve some prosperity. In 452, however, the infamous Hun king Attila razed Aquileia to the ground. As a result, the city lost importance, while Grado and Venice experienced a rise. Remains of the Roman city have been partially uncovered today. These include, in particular, the Forum and the inland port. Some of the excavations are also on display in the city's museums, particularly in the Museo Archeologico Nazionale di Aquileia. Another tourist attraction is the city's medieval basilica, which once belonged to the Patriarchate of Aquileia, the ecclesiastical state and archdiocese of the Catholic Church in the Friuli region. The 11th century building consists of a main nave and two side aisles with a Romanesque Gothic-style facade. It is famous for its early Christian floor mosaics from the 4th century, which are among the most important in the country. The city of Palmanova was founded by the trading metropolis of Venice as a planned city in the 16th century and is now an exciting tourist destination. It delights visitors with numerous buildings from the Renaissance period and is also known for its excellent shopping opportunities. Palmanova was founded by the Republic of Venice in 1593 and still has many houses and buildings from this era. A trip to the city is also worthwhile because of the special shape of the city center, which resembles a star and makes sightseeing an experience. Visitors should not miss Piazza Grande in particular, which is one of the most beautiful squares in the region. It is home to the Duomo di Palmanova, which was built at the beginning of the 17th century and is very popular. The three well-preserved city gates, which guests should have seen during their vacation in Palmanova, also continue to offer an impressive sight. Most guests also visit Palmanova because of the nearby outlet village, which is perfect for a shopping trip. Thanks to the large selection, holidaymakers can shop to their heart's content and certainly pick up a bargain or two. Monte Lussari is part of the Gioff-Hewitt-Montesio chain in the Julian Alps. The 1,790-meter high mountain is located in Camporosso, a hamlet in the municipality of Treviso. From the balcony of the Julian Alps, you have a magnificent view of the Treviso basin and the neighboring mountains such as the Karawankan to the north, the Mangat Group to the east and the Gioff di Montesio. The mountain is particularly famous for the 16th century buildings around the pilgrimage church in the typical Corinthian style. The aim was to imitate other buildings in the Connolly Valley. Monte Lussari has since become a popular excursion destination in Friuli-Venezia Giulia, which was boosted in particular by the cable car. Monte Santo di Lussari offers a fantastic view of the surrounding area. According to legend, a young shepherd discovered a statue of Mary and the child on Monte Lussari as he was leading his flock back down into the valley. He took it to the priest, who kept it with him. But no matter what people did, the statue always found its way back to the top of the mountain. The Patriarch of Aquileia agreed to the proposal to build a chapel on the site, which was later expanded into a church. The number of visitors to the pilgrimage site rose sharply in the second half of the 20th century after a cable car was built. The growing winter sports tourism also led to increased attention. Once part of Austria, Gorizia was annexed to Italy after the First World War. After the Second World War, the city was divided and remained with Italy, while New Gorizia and Monte Sante were assigned to the former Yugoslavia. The capital of the Italian province of the same name lies between the cities of Udine and Trieste and was already a multicultural place in ancient times due to its strategically favorable location. Today, Gorizia impresses with numerous art treasures and architectural highlights. Due to the city's long and exciting history, Gorizia can boast some fascinating buildings. First and foremost is the Castello di Gorizia, which was built around 1100. Many historic palazzi can be discovered in the city center. A special feature among the religious buildings is the Church of San Spirito, which was built around 1400 and is one of the smallest churches in the world. As you stroll through Gorizia, you will notice a very special atmosphere that stems from the many cultures and nations that have left their mark here. Piazza Europa has a symbolic character, as it represents a link between Gorizia and New Gorizia. In Piazza Transalpina, you have one foot in Italy and the other in Slovenia. Until 2004 there was a wall here. In the picturesque region of Friuli-Venezia Giulia, near the charming city of Trieste, lies a natural spectacle that makes the hearts of adventure seekers and those with a thirst for knowledge beat faster: the Grotta Gigante. This monumental cave is not only a testimony to the natural wonders of our planet, but also a center for scientific research and education, giving visitors a unique insight into the secrets beneath the Earth's surface. As its name suggests, the Grotta Gigante has a gigantic surprise in store. With a main hall that is almost 100 meters high, over 76 meters wide and almost 168 meters long, it offers a breathtaking panorama of subterranean beauty. These dimensions make the Grotta Gigante one of the largest accessible caves in the world and a must-see for every visitor to the region. In addition to its impressive size and scientific importance, the Grotta Gigante is also home to an educational center and a scientific cave museum. Here, visitors can deepen their knowledge of geological, archaeological and speleological aspects. The exhibitions offer insights into the study of the geological eras and karst phenomena, which are essential for understanding the dynamic processes that shape our Earth. Nestled between the imposing mountains of San Simeone, Festa, and Naruvent, Lake Cavazzo is a spectacular natural phenomenon. Fed by underground springs and an artificial connection, the lake is characterized by its unique turquoise water. The picturesque body of water nestles against the wooded mountain slopes and creates an ecosystem of rare beauty. Thanks to its geographical position close to the main alpine ridge, Lago di Cavazzo benefits from a constant circulation of air, creating ideal conditions for a variety of water sports. The Nautical Club on the lake is a popular meeting place for sailing enthusiasts and offers the ideal setting for anyone who wants to let the wind carry them across the glistening surface of the water. Lago di Cavazzo is also a paradise for nature lovers who want to explore the surrounding area on foot or by bike. There are numerous nature trails and cycle paths along the lake and its surroundings that lead through breathtaking landscapes. Observe the local wildlife such as coots and mallards breeding in the shore areas or the colorful kingfisher hunting. Lago di Cavazzo is a place that not only impresses with its natural beauty, but also with the variety of activities it offers. Whether you are looking for relaxation, sporting activities or want to experience the local culture and gastronomy, this lake will delight you. In the northeast of Italy, in the Friuli-Venezia Giulia region, lies the town of Cividale del Friuli with a population of around 11,000. As various peoples have conquered the town and chosen it as their seat, its history is correspondingly turbulent. After the former Celtic settlement was declared a city by the Romans, it fell into the possession of the Ostrogoths and Byzantium, among others. Later, the Lombards called it their own before the Franks conquered it. The Ponte del Diavolo, or Devil's Bridge, has spanned the wild Natizone River since the 15th century. There is a famous legend surrounding the creation of this structure. Legend has it that this bridge was once built by the devil himself. Naturally, he demanded a reward. The soul of the first person to cross the bridge would be his. To avoid having to sacrifice a human being, a dog was simply chased over the bridge once it was completed. The beautiful old town of Cividale towers high above the steep banks of the Natizone River. Most of the town's cultural highlights are located in this part of the town. One of the most important buildings in the municipality is the Tempietto Longobardo from the High Middle Ages. The monastery is also one of the most extraordinary and impressive temples from this medieval era in the entire Western world. Piazza Paolo Diacono is lined with ancient buildings with partially preserved fresco paintings. Anyone who spends their vacation in Grado will remember this charming town on the Adriatic for a long time. The city is located on an island in the Gulf of Venice and has many beautiful harbors and beaches as well as a cozy, historic old town. There is nothing better than sitting in one of the inviting cafes and letting your gaze wander over the picturesque Laguna di Grado and admiring the magnificent landscape. The town in northeastern Italy is famous not least for the diverse flora and fauna that holidaymakers can marvel at here. On the other small islands of the lagoon, there are numerous cozy bars and restaurants where visitors can sample the culinary delights of the region and enjoy a unique view. The old town of Grado, which has a number of attractions, is also very popular. The Basilica di Sant'Eufemia, one of the most impressive religious buildings from the 6th century, dominates the cityscape. If you want to experience Grado at its best, you should plan your vacation in the city during the summer months. At the beginning of July, for example, the famous Perdon de Barbana festival is held here, during which the statue of the Madonna is ceremoniously transported from the basilica to the pilgrimage church on the island of Barbana on a colorfully decorated boat. The town with the full name Lignano Sabbiadoro is located in the northeast of Italy in the province of Udine and has around 7,000 inhabitants. It is primarily known for the wonderful beaches on the Adriatic coast and the unspoiled nature in the surrounding area. One of the region's biggest attractions is the Laguna di Murano, which impresses with its great biodiversity and numerous small islands. From the port of Porto Busso, visitors can enjoy a magnificent view of the fantastic sea panorama and experience the Gulf of Venice at its most beautiful. Endless hours on the beach and sea, relaxing walks along the promenades or cozy evenings in the restaurants on the coast. Lignano is the ideal destination for a vacation with the whole family. To get to know the wonderful natural surroundings of Lignano, we recommend a trip to the islands of the Laguna di Murano. Of particular interest is the Isola di Martiniano, which can be reached by boat in just a few minutes. Holidaymakers can marvel at rare bird species, natural sandy beaches and the untouched Mediterranean fauna. It is also worth exploring the historic old town of Lignano. Among the sights worth seeing are the town's characteristic town hall and the Ferro della Finanza lighthouse. For many centuries, the Italian city of Trieste belonged to the Austrians, who had ideal access to Italy thanks to the large port. This period saw the university city flourish, as the foreign rulers pushed ahead with the construction of palaces and opera houses. Nevertheless, Trieste never managed to emerge from the shadow of great cities such as Venice or Rome. However, this was also an advantage, as it still has an extraordinary flair today, which is enhanced by the cheerfulness and friendliness of its inhabitants. In addition, holidaymakers can change countries quickly and easily, as it is only a few kilometers to Slovenia. The location of the capital of Friuli-Venezia Giulia is unique. Situated in a wide bay, it is protected from strong winds and offers a scent of the sea and freedom. The beaches at the gates of the city are clean and suitable for families with children thanks to the gently sloping sea. In the surrounding province of the same name, there are well-developed hiking trails and wonderful panoramic roads. One of these leads from Trieste to Sicilian and offers numerous views of the Adriatic Sea. After a day at the beach or in nature, you can look forward to another detour to the old town of Trieste. Perched on a hill, San Daniele is the most important town in the Friuli culinary area. From here you can enjoy the endless panoramas of evocative hilly landscapes. One of the pearls of Friuli-Venezia Giulia, the small town is known worldwide as the place where smoked trout and, above all, prosciutto are produced, whose unique taste is the result of a 1,000-year-old tradition and a unique microclimate. San Daniele has one of the most magnificent libraries in Italy, which is also the oldest in the region. The Biblioteca Garneriana, with its precious collection of ancient manuscripts. Let yourself be enchanted by the dazzling white of the 18th century cathedral and the region's most beautiful Renaissance fresco cycle in the former church of Sant'Antonio Abati, to which San Daniele owes its nickname Little Siena in Friuli. Aria di Festa towards the end of June is the festive occasion to get a taste for San Daniele ham. A lively festival with plenty of good cheer and guided tours of the ham production facilities in honor of the local delicacies. The small municipality of Gemona del Friuli is located in the Tagliamento Valley north of Udine, along the foothills of the Monte Chiampon mountain range. The medieval town centre, the Centro Storico, is particularly worth a visit and a real highlight. It begins in the area around the cathedral, which is well worth seeing, near Porta Udine. The medieval street Via Giuseppe Bini is well worth a stroll. The arcades, typical of the region, are decorated with frescoes and other attractive details from different eras. Several palazzi worth seeing are built along this street, many of which are private. Once you have walked along this street, it becomes clear why Gemona is one of the most traditional and beautiful villages in Friuli-Venezia Giulia. The Palazzo Comunale di Botan Town Hall dates back to the Renaissance and was designed in the Venetian style around 1500. It is worth taking a closer look, as there are inscriptions and Roman reliefs carved into the facade, as well as coats of arms of famous noble families from later eras. Magnificent aristocratic palaces, characteristic arcades with pretty stores and numerous culinary temptations await holidaymakers in the small northern Italian town of Pordenone. Pordenone has a long history, to which many impressive buildings in the town still bear witness today. With just over 50,000 inhabitants, Pordenone may be a typical small town, but it is the third largest city in the northern Italian region of Friuli-Venezia Giulia. Alongside Trieste and Udine, Pordenone is an important economic and cultural center in northeastern Italy. The small, charming town is located on the Noncello River, just 15 kilometers from the Dolomites and around 60 kilometers from the Adriatic Sea. Due to its location on the river, the town developed into an important trading center as early as the 12th century. Pordenone's most important attraction is the old town with its magnificent patrician palaces, the Romanesque Gothic Cathedral of San Marco and the Corso with its characteristic arcades. Here you will find elegant boutiques, inviting street cafes and small food stores that will make your mouth water. An art museum worth seeing is located in one of the city's most beautiful buildings, the Palazzo Riccieri. On display are impressive Gothic frescoes, paintings from the 17th and 18th centuries and the cathedral treasury from San Marco. Udine, the former center of the Friuli region, is not one of Italy's main tourist attractions, but anyone who has visited this pretty city in northwestern Italy will understand why people love living here. The almost 400 years during which the town was under Venetian rule, from 1420 to 1797, are still visible today, especially of course in the town's main square, the Piazza della Libertà, which has a unique architectural ambience and is certainly one of the most beautiful squares in northern Italy. But the time under the Habsburg monarchy, from 1797 to 1866, and the proximity of Slovenia, 20 kilometers, can also be felt in the cosmopolitan atmosphere of the city. Udine is a sociable city. In the afternoon, after work, people often meet in one of the city's typical ostri, wine taverns, for a chat and a glass of good Friulian wine. Don't miss out on an espresso or a cappuccino in the beautiful Art Deco Cafe Contorina, Piazza della Libertà. For those entering Italy via the Treviso border crossing, Udine is right on the route south and travelers should stop here for at least half a day. And for those spending their vacation on one of the popular Adriatic beaches between Jesolo and Grado, Udine is a worthwhile destination.